We heard moving testimony yesterday. There's no doubt about it. But I got to tell you, about 8 o'clock last night, I was stunned, simply stunned, that I, my neighbors, my friends, constituents, could be viewed as a threat to this country just because we're going to school board meetings, that we would get a threat tag put on us. I've attended, as I spoke in my remarks and questioning of Attorney General Garland, about how I've attended numerous school board meetings along with friends, constituents, and others over the last year and a half. And to hear yesterday that they may have a threat tag put on them is unbelievable. And Mr. Chairman, we ask today that you work with the ranking member and this side to bring the Attorney General back into this room, and let's be able to question him, because he clearly was not forthright with the memo that went out October 20th, a joint message from Criminal Investigative Division and Counterterrorism Division. And if that isn't strong enough, when we had that hearing, there was talk of using the Patriot Act. There's a portrait right over there in that corner of a man who used to serve as the chair of this committee. He wrote an article a few weeks ago saying the Patriot Act, which he helped write, one of the primary authors, Mr. Sensenbrenner, the Patriot Act was never meant to go after citizens of this country. Yet that appears to be what is happening. So I'll take you back to the questioning that I did of the Attorney General almost 4 weeks ago. I asked him, are we terrorists? No, you're not terrorists. Are we criminals? And he dismissed that. He said, I'm sure you're not. He basically dismissed it. But I've followed up with a third question, and I went back last night and studied his answer. I asked, have any states asked for help? And his answer was, we're doing an assessment. So in other words, is that assessment? Is it administering threat tags? Was it sleight of hand so that we did not get to hear what happened on October 20th? That it was not going to be forthcoming, that these threat tags were being put out all over the country by the FBI? The Attorney General needs to come back here, and he needs to answer that question, because I will pose it to him. If you look at number 3 in this joint message on counterterrorism, the third question here says, what's the motivation behind the criminal activity? Sounds like they're already guilty. Sounds like it's already guilty. And that's certainly what it seems like the National School Boards was attempting to do when they went and brought this forward and said, Biden administration, you need to sic your Attorney General after these parents all over America who the light has come on and they understand we have to get involved in our kids' schools. You might want to bring in Director Ray, too, after you get done with Attorney General Garland. So a couple of my colleagues were speaking earlier. One of them referred to, in regards to the issue before the committee today, said the deck is stacked and it's David versus Goliath. He's absolutely right. In this context also, threat tags being put on parents, the crushing weight of the federal government is coming down on parents with these threat tags. The Attorney General, the FBI, they're coming after the parents. It was also cited by another member, corporations put themselves above the law. Well, what about when our government puts themselves above its citizens? It's not a good thing, is it? He also called it a distraction, what we were attempting to do today. Distracting from parents being harassed? The Judiciary Committee needs to do its job, Mr. Chairman. We will work with you to bring the Attorney General back here to have another round of questioning, and then I hope you follow that up by bringing FBI Director Ray after that. And let's see if their stories mesh. Bring the Attorney General back before us. I yield back.